thing I wanted to address is that for each chapter, there is a small response that I'd like you to make. And some of you have done that, some of you haven't. So I want to go over the directions with you. As you've been reading the Helen Keller book, there are slides to complete as you proceed through the slideshow and the text. But on the opening slide for each chapter is a small bit of text here that asks you to just read and reflect upon the pages given. The reflection does not have to be very long. Here is a sample. Chapter 3, Asking for Help. Helen Keller was very mischievous, great word, when she was younger. I think that's very surprising to learn that Helen was very mischievous because she is known to be very smart and successful. I found that interesting too. So, this is really just a two-sentence response, but it's very thoughtful, great vocabulary, complete sentences. It tells an interesting fact and then a bit of reflection. It really can just be as simple as two sentences, but please make sure that they are thoughtful sentences where you read and reflect upon one part of the chapter. Keep the same font and size if possible, please, boys and girls. Now, a few other things on the assignment that I want to make sure that you know about in addition to that is this portion here. I did update the directions, so please make sure that you've read them to include the information about the responses. So that's two sentences for each response. Make sure that you go into the slides and just add about two sentences for each one is be perfectly fine. For the book log for reading the chapters each night, I wanted to make sure that you all knew as well. The schedule is listed here, and the column for where your parents were signing off, I removed that. Do not worry about that. So, what I'd like you to focus on now is just making sure that you've read the text and reflect on one part of whatever chapter you're on. Two sentences are just fine. Now, the due date for this assignment would be this Friday. If anyone has any trouble with making that deadline, please let me know. However, this week I did push back the response log to give you more time to work on the Helen Keller project. And the response log, I did change the due date to April 1st. So if you are behind on your slides or you have not done the two-sentence reflections for each chapter, spend more time on this and you can do the 5 responses when you have time because that date was pushed back. Please email me if you have any questions. You may also go to the home instruction log and ask any questions rather on the question portion. You can also go to our Google Classroom where you can post a comment or ask a question and double check anything with me is fine. So if I take a look at the instruction log, there's always a spot where you can have comments and questions below. So please make sure that in addition to logging on every day and checking off your assignments, if you have any questions, you can list them in the question box and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you everyone for checking daily on the log and checking off that you did your work. Just another reminder, if you have a question and you make a comment on a presentation or on a document, I am not notified of that. So it's likely that you may wait to hear a response from me until I realize the comment is there. So if you want to get in touch with me sooner, please email me or check the ELA communication Google Classroom or post a question or comment on our daily log. Thanks again for checking it each day and be sure to put an X next to your work by the following morning. Boys and girls, thank you for doing a wonderful job. I am super proud of you. If you have any questions, please contact me.